and welcome to Knockoff Gourmet. So the title of this video is Breakfast Poppers. So you're probably wondering why I'm in my pajamas. The wonderful thing about this recipe is that you can actually do it the night before and keep them nice and toasty warm in your crock pot so they're ready to go for your family in the morning. Our mornings are crazy and we have so much hustle and bustle. I have my husband, myself, and our 4 children. So with the 2 older ones getting ready for school and trying to get my husband to work on time, as well as keeping myself fed so I have energy to take care of my 9-month-old baby and my 3-year-old son, I need lots of energy. And these are healthy, organic breakfast poppers that you can do the night before. So I've moved in a little closer so that I can show you the products that I'm using. And when I say that these are so easy, I really mean it. They're so easy. The first ingredient that I use and that I cook with is organic, unrefined, virgin coconut oil. Now, it's not cold pressed. I know that's supposed to be the best, but it's expeller pressed, but it's still really good and it's still great for cooking. And it's by Walmart's great value. So don't be afraid to try some of these organic products by Walmart. I have not been unhappy with them. I've been very pleased. So, and then just make sure that if you are wanting to keep it organic, that you are looking for this little symbol, which is the USDA organic. I know a lot of things say all natural. All natural does not mean organic. That's a story for another day, but that's just a little tidbit. And then Kroger and King Soopers. I love their Simple Truth Organic brand. And so that's a lot of the organic products that I do use is by this brand in particular. So I get their Simple Truth Organic cage-free brown eggs. Love them. And then they also carry frozen quinoa. So there's a couple different ways that I like to make my quinoa. Sometimes I do it and I cook it stovetop, and then I like to freeze it in Ziploc bags. Sometimes when I'm doing overnight or I'm trying to make a really quick lunch on the go, I like to do the frozen because you can steam them in the microwave for about 4 minutes and they're ready to go. And this one is the Mediterranean quinoa by Simple Truth, and it's got spinach, tomatoes, and feta. So it has everything we're gonna need for our breakfast poppers already built in to this nice little bag. So I've preheated my oven to 350 degrees. You're gonna wanna pop your quinoa into the microwave for 4 minutes. Now, if you don't have frozen quinoa, that is okay. Or if you don't have this particular brand of frozen quinoa, that's still okay. You can use whatever kind you have. Okay, so for this recipe, you're gonna need about 8 eggs. Again, I'm feeding a family of 6. So, well, technically my baby doesn't eat it, so a family of 5. But if you don't need to feed quite that many people, you can always have this recipe. Use half the bag of quinoa, use half the eggs, and then you can have a few for that morning and some for later on that week. They save really well in the refrigerator in some Ziploc bags. Or you can even freeze them if you prefer to put them in freezer bags. So I always recommend still make the full amount even if you don't have a large family, just because they save really well. So I have gotten my mini cupcake pan and I have lined it with the mini cupcake wrappers. Does not matter the design, it's whatever I had in my pantry. So you want to have that. And so that's really all you're gonna need. It's gonna be 8 eggs, about 2 tablespoons of coconut oil, and then you're gonna mix in this cooked quinoa right into your beaten eggs and coconut oil. And then what I like to do is I always like to put it in one of these measuring cups that have the little spout here so that it's easy to pour in. Okay, so we have our breakfast organic egg poppers in the oven and they are baking. So while they are baking, you want to prep your crock pot. Now you don't want your crock pot to cook them because it will dry them out. So you're just using the crock pot to keep them nice and moist and nice and hot and ready for breakfast time, so that when your family gets up, breakfast is ready to go. And you can worry about more important things like making sure they've got their homework and your husband has his laptop. Okay, so you're gonna wanna put your crock pot on warm. The lowest setting that you have. Everybody has different settings. This is my brand new crock pot that I got for Christmas. It is by Hamilton Beach, but it is also a part of the Pioneer Woman collection. So it's a little bit of both. And my last crock pot was also Hamilton Beach. So I like to stay with certain brands, and I'm just that way because then I know that I can depend on them. They're dependable. They will not fail me. I know exactly how to time them, how to set the heat. And so that's why I like to be a little brand specific. Mine is Hamilton Beach. However, you know your crock pot, you've cooked with it, you're comfortable with it. Lowest temperature. Now what people don't realize is that your ceramic ware can handle a lot more than you realize. Not only can they handle the dishwasher, but they can handle going in the crock pot. This isn't gonna crack them, this isn't gonna break them. The one thing I want you to look for is on the bottom, if it says microwave safe, it is crock pot safe. So if you can handle the intense heat that the microwave gets in such a short amount of time without cracking or breaking, then it can also handle your very low setting on your crock pot, which is great. So you're gonna just get a medium-sized bowl. You'll have to, just depending, mine's a 7-quart. So if you have a 5-quart, you're gonna wanna get a smaller bowl or maybe two really small bowls. And you're gonna actually set it right in the center of your crock pot. Now, before we do that, I have my teapot boiling over here with just some water, and it is ready to go, so I'm gonna take it off the heat. You are going to pour hot water right into your crock pot. So let me get my towel. Safety first. And you're gonna wanna pour about 2 inches. About 2 inches from the bottom. Now this doesn't need to be exact. It's not an exact science. You want to do a little bit more because you're worried about your water evaporating out during the night. Then you can definitely do more if you know that your crock pot runs on the hot end. However, if you know that you're not worried about that, you know it's not going to evaporate out, I would say about 1 inch or 2 is more than sufficient. So now I have my hot water in my crock pot, and I'm just gonna set this bowl right in. You wanna keep the inside of this bowl dry. You don't want it wet. So you're just gonna set that right inside, because when our poppers are ready, you're not even gonna take them out of the wrappers. You're not gonna let them cool. You're just gonna get your fork and you're gonna pop them right out of the pan, and you're gonna stick them right in that bowl, and you're gonna put the lid on, and you're gonna go to sleep. That's it. Now, if you don't have enough room to put all of your poppers that you made in your crock pot and you don't need them all for the morning, then this is an opportunity to maybe just let some of them cool for about 10 minutes, put them in a Ziploc bag, stick them in the fridge for later that week, or just as a mid-morning quick pick-me-up snack. Hello, so they're all done. But before we move on, you always want to taste test your product. It's a late little midnight snack or whatever time you might be making these. Maybe it's an after dinner snack. But you guys might have noticed, and you ladies might have noticed that I did not add any pepper or salt. And I didn't do that because the quinoa comes pre-seasoned with herbs and a little bit of sodium and salt and pepper and red pepper. So that's what makes these so easy. There was really no need to season them. All the seasoning that you need comes in the quinoa. If you like a little bit more salt or pepper or a little bit of garlic powder, please feel free to add extra things that will make it more scrumptious for you and your family. But let's give this a little taste. Mm. It is really good. And I think there's just something really special about baking your vegetables that just bring out a really unique flavor in them. They're fluffy, they're moist because of the coconut oil, and they don't stick to the paper again because of the coconut oil. They come off really easily. I'm just going to take that last little bite. It's so good.